Hello and welcome into today's edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. My name is Kevin Hicks and I am the lead beat writer for Arizona State Sun Devils on SI. And I am so glad to join you once again today, early Thursday afternoon. And we are now just over 5 weeks away from the Arizona State Sun Devils season kicking off on August 30th against the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks, an in-state FCS rival who has shown a lot of marked improvement over the last couple of years program-wise, but still should be a nice tune-up game for Arizona State to prepare both for Mississippi State and Big 12 play that is to come. And now we are almost 4 weeks out from week 0 of the college football season. The first game of the college football season is none other than Iowa State and Kansas State, two foes that Arizona State took down in dominant fashion last season, two foes that are expected to compete with Arizona State for a spot in the Big 12 title game. And that game is of extreme interest for the Arizona State program and fans of the program because it will set the tone of what to expect in conference play, even if it's being played in Dublin, even if it's a week 1 or week 0 game. There's still a lot that's riding on that game for both those teams and everybody in the conference. So football season is right around the corner, and I could not be more pleased to be covering this team. Thank you so much for all the support before we get started. It means the world to me. And if you'd like to support me a little more, please follow me on X/Twitter at khicks_21 if you get the opportunity to do so. So let's get started today. So as you know, we've been doing a series on position previews. We already did some of these briefly in the past, but now we're going into a little more detail. We're going into talking about the future of the position, not just this season. And today it brings us to the tight end position. So as most of you may know, the tight end position is quietly one of the stronger positions the program currently holds, both currently and in the future. Everybody knows Shimon Mateer is an absolutely insane red zone target. He only went for 30 catches last season, but 5 of those 30 catches were touchdowns, and many of them ended up being in key moments of key games. He has the build of an NFL tight end. He's acted as a very, very secure security blanket for Sam Leavitt, as I said, especially in the red zone. He has 10 career receiving touchdowns between 2023 and 2024. And he's coming into the season as a potential All-Big 12 candidate. Mateer is in a phenomenal position to take another step forward in year 2 in Marcus Arroyo and Kenny Dillingham's offense, especially with more support in the wide receiver room, more versatility in the running back room. That's not to say Cam Skattebo isn't great, as I've attested to before. It's just to say the running back room is structured differently than last season. And with Jordan Tyson, you can line up Jordan Tyson virtually anywhere, and it can free up space underneath in the short game. So keep an eye out for Mateer. There's no doubt that he is one of the better tight ends in the country, in the Big 12, obviously. So Sun Devils are in good hands there. And then tight ends coach Jason Mons has done a phenomenal job of building up the tight end roster for the future as well. So Jaden Fortier is a name to watch out for. The Sun Devils tight end was part of the class of 2024. He was ranked as the number 1 player in Oregon in the class of 2024. He committed to Arizona State 2 years ago and signed a year and a half ago. He obviously didn't play last season, but there is potential for him to play a huge role in the Sun Devils offense this year, at least relative to what we saw last year, which was nothing. But he's very, very talented, a 4-star prospect. He's a little smaller than a Shimon Mateer, but he's very, very good in space. He's a bit shiftier, and he just brings a different dynamic to the table. Now let's go to AJ Ia. This guy, 4-star recruit, rated as the 15th best tight end in the nation according to 24/7 Sports. He really, really does bring, I don't want to create hyperbole or make an overstatement, but he really, really does have a build that is reminiscent of that of Rob Gronkowski when he was at the University of Arizona. This guy is 6'6", 255, already has an NFL body, is an explosive athlete, willing blocker, really does everything when it comes to putting in the nitty-gritty work. In the recruiting process speaks for itself. He was recruited by schools such as Florida, Kansas, Auburn, Brigham Young, Florida State, Notre Dame, Oregon, Tennessee, Texas A&M, USC, Washington. There were so many big-time programs that were targeting him, and he chose Arizona State. And Jason Mons, who has obviously built up quite the track record going into his third season as Arizona State's tight ends coach after winning numerous state titles as head coach of local Saguaro High School. So there is so much to like about the Arizona State tight ends from going into the season. And before we wrap up this edition of the Sun Devils Insider Podcast, I would like to talk about Landon Myrie, who just committed a couple weeks ago. We've talked about him a bit in the past, but the Cincinnati native might be a little more lightly regarded compared to a 48 or an Ia, but he's a 3-star recruit that really plays above what he's rated. He's has the production of a 4-star or in that ballpark. He's phenomenal athlete. He's phenomenal in space. He's phenomenal catching contested passes. And he should be a perfect fit for the Sun Devils culture. Everything that he says surrounding the program is the right thing. It really feels like he's coming to serve his teammates and be the best version of himself inside the locker room instead of playing for his own glory, his own draft stock, and everything that surrounds self-importance. And he really could factor in as a starting tight end with the Arizona State program long term. We'll see what happens beyond this year with Ia and Jaden Fortier being strong options as well. But that's just a testament to Jason Mons and the work that he's done. This Arizona State program is being built up every single position, multiple players deep. The future is always at the forefront of these coaches' minds, and they're always putting in extra work to sell themselves to recruits, to make recruits realize that no other program is going to prioritize them like Arizona State has, and that's simply incredibly commendable for Kenny Dillingham and the rest of the crew. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in today over the last 9 minutes. Your support means the world to me once again. And please follow me on X/Twitter at KX_21 if you get the opportunity to do so. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I will see you tomorrow.